welcome back to Lil Miss Black Cloud. Again, apologies. It's been a while. I'm sorry. I have a lot for you this week. Lots of things happened in the last couple weeks that I was away that I found out about. First up, we have in less than a month now, I believe, just under a month, we have the premiere of season 3 of Penny Dreadful.
I've conquered death.
Do you think you know sin? I wrote the bloody book.
I walked in blood every step.
I have been touched by Satan.
I am made for the dark.
If we're to continue, you must know how dangerous this is. I'm not frightened.
All the broken and shunned creatures. Someone's got to care for them. Who shall it be if not us?
That makes me so excited. You have no idea. Ever since season 2 wrapped up, I was, oh my god, I've been losing my mind. I love this show so much. You can probably almost exclusively blame it on the fact that I am a total nut for 19th century British literature. Thank you so much, Dr. Bondar. I love you. So far in the series, we have seen the Wolfman, we have seen Frankenstein, we've seen Frankenstein's monster. We briefly got an appearance from Van Helsing. It was very, very short appearance, but we still saw him. I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing? We've seen Dorian Gray so far. We've seen Mina Harker. That's everyone who I recognize so far. There might be more, snuck in there somewhere. Just the name itself makes me happy because I've known about those little penny dreadfuls for a while now. And if you don't actually know what a penny dreadful is, it's not just the name of the series. It is actually the name of these little booklets that they would make back in Victorian England. They were like 20 pages or less. Little itty bitty magazines that cost a penny. And in them were all these kinds of little horror novels that were condensed down into, quick little 5-minute reads. And they exploded during Victorian England. That seemed to be the age where people really started getting into, grotesqueries and gore and all this other kind of crazy stuff. The Victorians were crazy, what can I say? But yeah, season number 3 is set to start on May 1st. And I'm so excited! I'm so excited because I found out just recently that they're introducing a new literary character this season. One of the most iconic characters ever to come out of 19th century literature, and they're putting him in the show! And that character is none other than Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Yes! Yes, thank you! Sorry. But in other news of Penny Dreadful, not only are we going to be getting the 3rd season, I found out that they are also releasing a comic series for it. there's going to be a comic series released by Titan Comics. And I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited. It's going to premiere on May 4th. That's going to be the first issue. So far, there's already 6 variant copies of it. 6. 2 of them are photographs. Those I'm not as crazy about. The 6th one is going to be one of those blank cover ones that you can actually draw yourself. Those are always cool. But 3 of them are original drawings by other well-known comic creators. The comic itself is actually going to be written by 2 people who are already working on the Penny Dreadful screenplays, and those are Christy Wilson Cairns and Andrew Hindracker. They're collaborating on this as well, so that definitely assures that the comic is going to stick really close to what we're seeing in the show. It's a little fuzzy on whether this is going to be like a prequel type deal or a sequel type deal or just delving more into the lives of the characters in between the takes that we see on the show. I don't think it's going to be a prequel because I do see Ethan Chandler in a lot of the images that I've seen so far of the comics. So that leads me to believe that this isn't going to be a prequel type deal. But for the first issue, I also have seen Sembene in it. So that leads me to believe that this is still taking place prior to the conclusion of season 2. I like Sembene. Why'd you have to kill him? Why? That's not cool. That is not cool at all. The primary contributor for all the artwork on this is going to be Louis de Martinez, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Maybe? Yeah? Yeah? If you're an avid comic fan, you'll recognize him from Madness and Heavy Metal. He is also doing one of the comic book variant covers. To be honest, not my favorite one. I'm sorry, but it's not my favorite one. My favorite variant cover is actually being drawn by Julian March. So that one, it's very, I'm trying to think of a way to put it. It's very elegant. It has Vanessa as the centerpiece, essentially, and it's just very elegant, and I love the colors on it. The colors are so vibrant and gorgeous. The third and final drawn variant cover is going to be done by Ben Templesmith, and it kind of looks like the one Julian March is doing, but this one is a little bit more monochromatic, and it actually works really well. And this is actually one of the covers that gives you a hint as to where this is going to be taking place within the storyline of Penny Dreadful. Because on this cover you can clearly see what appears to be Mina Harker on the cover. So my guess is this might be potentially slightly before the events of the first episode of season 1, but not very far into it. Either one of those. It's like they're really fuzzy on the details as to where exactly this is going to hit along the storyline, but I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain at all so far because I'm so excited for this. Give me Penny Dreadful! Give me all the Penny Dreadful. Other release information news thing. If anybody is a fan of the anime called Parasyte the Maxim, I think that's it. Maxim. Parasyte the Maxim. I just recently started it, and I'm almost finished, and that show's the biggest mind fuck I've ever seen. Don't watch it if you have an issue with gore or parasitic invasions. That is really all I can say as far as a censorship warning, because this anime deals heavily in both. It's weird as hell. But they're releasing the first half of it again sometime in May. I think that was actually supposed to come out May 1st. Basically, a bunch of alien parasites are just dropped onto Earth, and they're not even the parasites really know why they're there, and they are sentient. They are very sentient creatures, And when they land on Earth, they have one mission and one mission only: inhabit a human host and take over them. Because what they are designed to do is to burrow into a human host any way they can. Use your imagination. But they must burrow into a human host and reach the brain. They devour it and become that body's new brain. So the rest of the body doesn't die. Like any good parasite, you don't kill your host. You keep the host alive to use for your purposes. And in this case, their control over the human body that they inhabit becomes so complete that they can shapeshift, essentially. These parasites, while they can maintain the appearance of the original host, they reformat the cells, if you will, so that way they can look like anything and everyone, and they can even condense the cells to become almost a new and different element. What they do is they feed on humans. And one of the ways that they do that and they catch their prey, they can literally morph, say, their hand or the hand of the host. They can morph the hand of the host into all these blades and stuff that are stronger than steel. Think along the lines of adamantium. That's how strong these claws and these blades are that they create. Parasyte follows the storyline of a boy who he wakes up in the middle of the night when one of these parasitic beings is trying to inhabit his system. Well, he sees it jump into his hand, crawl up his arm, and he ties his headphones around his arm so tight that he loses circulation in it, but the parasite can't go anywhere. He wakes up the next morning, his hand's kind of numb, and he's thinking, it's from me wrapping my headphones around it so tight. Well, it turns out that even though the parasite hasn't reached his brain, it has still become sentient, and it has still taken over pretty much from here down of his arm. And the alien can talk, it can learn, and it can also redo the entire structure of the hand to suit its purposes. It's really, really freaky, but very good so far. I haven't seen the ending of it yet, but so far it is really good if you can get past just how much it's meant to fuck with your head. To amend my earlier statement, it is not going to be available May 1st. It's going to be available April 5th. So in a few days. Whoopsie! Okay, April 5th. Look out for Parasyte the Maxim. It's really good. Trippy and mind fuckery galore, but good. To wrap up this week, made an interesting discovery, and I'm not even entirely sure how I found it at this point. Made the discovery of a new movie that is, I believe it's going to have a limited release in US theaters, and it is called The Curse of Sleeping Beauty. And from the trailer, I mean, it looks okay. I'm not entirely sure I get the premise of it. You watch, you judge.
There once was a princess, cursed to an eternal sleep, only to be awoken by true love's kiss. But a prince never came.
She visits me in my dreams, always asleep, waiting for my kiss, until the day I would find her. Hello? Clive Kaiser died and left this property to me?
I really know just about as much as you do. This firm is just the executor of the property.
How did he die? Did you know my uncle?
No, he was more of a shut-in.
Thomas, when you reach Kaiser Gardens, there are rules you must obey. Your bloodline is able to access all parts of the property.
This happened 2 nights in a row. Hasn't happened that close together before. This can't be a dream. It's too real.
So I'm still asleep, awaiting your kiss. You seem to be stuck with this place, and I want to find my brother.
You see spirits. Some people call them demons or ghosts or jinns, but they are everywhere.
There has to be a way to break the curse.
Hey, is that blood?
Bloodline. If we can find Briar Rose and wake her up, it will break the curse.
It's a little muddled, I guess, as far as plotline goes. Interesting idea that Sleeping Beauty is still technically alive and just in this comatose-like state waiting for someone to wake her up. But there's now a curse tied into it, so I'm not sure what all that's about or how that came to pass. And then there's the whole guardian thing that they imply. So that'll be interesting. I want to see that. It's set to release in some theaters on May 14th. So May is a big month. But I think it looks interesting. I'll at least give it a shot, even if the main hero guy kind of sounds like he has a monotone. I know that some people are going to say, we just had Maleficent. I'm sorry, I did not like Maleficent. The beginning was good. The beginning was very good. And then about 5 seconds after it started tying into the original Sleeping Beauty storyline, it just went and it died. I loved the premise of it because I love Maleficent. But I think they screwed up, you know, basically what was a good 3/4 of the movie. The entire section where she was young, telling about her past, how she's, you know, involved with Philip and all that. That's really interesting. I could have used more of that. The scene where she curses Aurora. That was done well. That was done very, very well. I like that. And then it gets into the whole good fairies taking Aurora away, and it's kind of just like, what did you do? I don't know, maybe they just tried to change one too many things in the storyline and it just kind of got lost in translation somewhere. I don't know. But that was not a personal favorite of mine. I'm gonna go check out Curse of Sleeping Beauty. I will put up a review of it the instant I can. Yeah, that's it. Look out for season 3 of Penny Dreadful. Look out for the comic adaptation of Penny Dreadful. Parasyte the Maxim, releasing on April 5th, which is in just a few days. And Curse of Sleeping Beauty on May 14th. Go see if it's coming to a theater near you. So until next time, everybody, I will bid you adieu.